Hey there and welcome back to another episode of PluginPlay. I started this series over a year ago with the hope that I would start making some plugin demos and reviews, showing off some of the cool plugins I have and use every single day. Well, that didn't quite materialize straight away, but here we are today with episode number 2, and we have an emulation of the original Crumar Performer instrument. Now, I want to start by saying a big thank you to the people at Crumar for hooking me up with this license and some swag too. Now, this isn't a sponsored episode, but do bear in mind that I was given the software and these goodies for free. But it's all my own thoughts and opinions, and Crumar haven't told me what to say at all. So before we get into this content, please take a second to hit that like button at some point in the video if you like. Subscribe if you aren't already, and comment below to let me know what projects you'd like to use the Performer VST on. Now, let's do a little bit of history. So first off, the Performer was released in 1979 as a compact 49 key string machine with a brass section. It used some clever technology to allow the machine to play polyphonically, which at the time was a pretty big deal, and what made this instrument so useful was that it had a very simple layout with 15 sliders and just a few buttons really. The string section was a real draw with a 3-band EQ, allowing for a good amount of sound shape and flexibility. Well, the brass section was maybe a little bit less exciting, with only a single oscillator just giving out a square wave to generate the sound. It did get used by Duran Duran's keys player Nick Rhodes and appeared in quite a few other places, even Mark Ronson's Bang 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 music video in 2010. But now that we've got the history out of the way, let's just look at this software recreation instead, shall we? So the first thing to say is that it's super easy to install on a Windows or Mac machine, and on first opening, it's fair to say that the vintage feel has definitely been kept alive. Let's get into the features of this plugin. Okay, so let's just have a little look at the kind of like layout, the interface of this guy. This is open in Logic Pro X in plugin mode. If you have it in standalone mode, it looks pretty much the same, just doesn't have this login skin around it. So the first thing is you've got this toolbar around the top. You've got the main or the effects view, which obviously main is just a keyboard. Effects are the included pedal board style layout effects. You can see here that you've got a graphic EQ, a phaser, a chorus flanger type vibe, and then an analog delay. One thing to say about these is you can't swap them around in the chain. This is the order that they're in, and you kind of have to just live with that really. So yeah, there you go. Moving over, you've got this write and file menu section here, write, programs, and then file. You can import or export programs or banks, and you can also do some kind of like basic program function stuff here as well. This is your little program list or preset bank as well, if that's where you want to look at there, and you can bank along left and right here. And then you've got the edit and kind of settings section here. So edit will bring you to all your global tuning and also your individual note tuning. You've also got the sustain mod here, which was an add-on on the original instrument. That was an extra thing. And then you've got some kind of like reverb and chorus effects type stuff going on there. And then over on the settings page is all the kind of like global main settings for the instrument, and also your MIDI map functions as well. So that's all that kind of stuff there. And then finally, you've got a little help section here. You've got a user's manual, a little check for updates and product registration and all that normal kind of stuff that you'd have. So looking here, we've got the main instrument layout. You've obviously got your brass section, your strings, modulation and master, and your 49 keys from C to C. 4 octaves of goodness. Like I said earlier, we've got the pedal board layout of the effects going on there. So that's as complicated as this plugin gets, really, to be totally honest, which is kind of cool because it means that you don't have to spend ages learning the plugin. You can just get playing the plugin and using it. So right off the bat, I'm going to say that I'm actually going to make a separate video just playing through all of the presets individually, no talking at all. So if you get fed up of hearing me chat along, you can watch that video. It should be in the top corner link in a minute. But for now, what I thought would be fun is that's your sound straight out the bat when you open this plugin. And it's all right. It's kind of thick and a little bit muddy for my liking. It would definitely need a little bit of tone shaping and control going on there. But what I want to do just first is, there were two patches that I really loved. This chorus bass, I love this just straight out of the bat. I kind of like that. It's just such a simple little bass sound. And it's nice and thick, it's warm, it's a bit meaty, it does the job straight out of the tin. Love it. One thing I tried, this thin ice pad here, I thought that was really nifty after a little bit of tweaking, because this is what it sounds straight out the box. And I'll give it its credit. It sounds like a thin ice pad. Fair play. But I just started to have a little bit of fun shaping and playing around with this. So the first thing I did was took the crescendo fader, which it's a glorified attack. So I just pulled it right down to 0 to make the attack instant. And then I also pulled the sustain down. I think I kind of like settled on around 10%, give or take, 10 or 11 or something like that. And that just made it a lot kind of like tighter, crunchier, and a bit more like instant in terms of that playability. So the next thing I did was open up the effects section, and with this graphic EQ here, I just scooped out all of the 12K, all of the 5K, all of the 2.5K, and then I just boosted up the 500, the 250, and the 120. So I kind of created a little left to right downward slope, and then I compensated for all that volume, just bumped up the overall volume a little bit, and we should get this. So we've got a much kind of like warmer, sweeter, thicker, juicy pad going on, but there's still, can you hear that little sparkle in the background? There's still just a little bit of sparkle happening, which I kind of like, and that's probably coming from the chorus flanger effect, which I actually turned off and then turned on this analog delay. Kept that on, turned the feedback pretty much all the way up to about 87-ish, turned the time all the way up just for funsies, and turned the rate all the way up as well. And turned the level, I just backed the level off just ever so slightly to like 80-ish%. And then we ended up with this loveliness. And I don't know what it was about that, but it just made me happy. I think I actually played around with the depth as well. So if we turn off that feedback just now, that's just going to make him come back to normal. And yeah, I just kind of had a little bit of fun with him, and I just got into this nice little ethereal mode. Just really nice. So if I just pull that feedback right back down again, can you hear there's a car alarm going off outside my house? Isn't that nice? Isn't that really considerate? Somebody's robbing me. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I really enjoyed just like that little bit of like warmth and vibe that came out of this. I think that's my big thing overall, is that this seems to be well at home in a lo-fi producer environment. I wouldn't expect a great lot of flexibility. However, with DAWs nowadays, you can definitely grab that and pull it through arpeggiators and all kinds of MIDI effects and stuff like that if you want to really get creative with a plugin as well. So there's always that to think about. But yeah, that's a quick look at the plugin and kind of like some of the sounds that it makes and how it works. All right, so there you go. If it's good enough to be able to get lost in some music making, then it's good enough for me. I think this is a cool little synth, harking back to its origins, especially if you're into lo-fi vibes. However, the problem is that in today's market, paying 99 euros for one plugin that is a little outdated is a bit of a steep price, to be honest. However, if you're a bit of a collector and like to support a company that does still have a great reputation for quality keyboards, check their organs out, then maybe consider buying the collector's bundle, which I got here for 129 euros. The poster alone is worth it, and this t-shirt is really nice as well. Once again, remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for all my videos as soon as they drop, and I can't wait until the next time we plug and play. See ya.